Jesus needed the work, he did the work that we need, the work that we could never do, so that we might live, be reconciled to God, and not die. Let's turn over to Ephesians 2, another verse that you might be able to quote. But I want you to hear this, starting in verse 1. And you were dead in your trespasses and sins. Those speaking to us in this room who have been saved, if you're not, you're still dead in your trespasses and sins. But you can live today. You can live today. So, and you were dead in your trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now working the sons of disobedience, among whom we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of the body and the mind, and were by nature children of wrath like the rest of mankind. Does anybody still struggle with some of that? Nobody? I do. I was telling the first service, if I was ever going to start a motorcycle club, I would call it Children of Wrath. I just think it sounds pretty hardcore. But God, being rich in mercy, because of the great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved, and all of the works that you've ever done, and all the good things you continue to do. No, it doesn't say that. By grace you've been saved, and raised us up with him, and seated us with him in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus, so that in the coming ages he might show the immeasurable riches of his grace and kindness towards us in Christ Jesus. Do you see these words? Immeasurable riches of his grace and kindness. Do you trust that? If we don't, we won't trust his work. We won't trust his work. My grandfather passed something on to me that I've done to my children, my sons, and even people I've worked with. For instance, they've not done this, but if I said to my sons, hey, I want you to go screw in these screws on this deck and just build this wall over, just take a screwdriver and go screw all those screws in and be done, tighten them down really good. And if they go do that right now, chances be, when they got done, I would follow up with a screwdriver and make sure they were all where they needed to be. Why? Because I don't trust their work. I don't trust that they're strong enough. I don't trust that they're experienced enough. I don't trust that they've done it the way that I needed it to be done. Anybody ever done that? Read that done too? Maybe do that with coworkers, whatever it may be. And we laugh it off as, oh, you're just OCD, or you're just an untrusting person. Now, some of that's merited. I mean, you've been burnt, so I get it. I'm with you. But then we do that to God. We do it to God. It's finished. So my boys come back with a screwdriver. It is finished. Oh, really? And I want to go see. We approach God in the same way. But Jesus made it clear for us to hear. Takes a drink of the wine, clears his throat. It is finished. I don't know what I'd do if my sons looked at me and said, no, it is finished. That'd make me mad, right? But we do that with God. This is how we respond. Hear this now. For by grace you have been saved through faith. That's how we've been saved. By grace through faith. And we go, okay, well, I got to conjure up some faith. No, faith isn't even of us. And this is not your own doing. It's a win-win. Can you see the love and how kind and merciful he is to us?